Hi, girly.
Hi, girly.
I'm Eliana,
I'm Derek.
and this is
For
For
the
the Girlies.
girlies,
On today's episode of For the Girlies, what are we doing?
we are diving into Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren.
The book that started it all.
Mm-hmm.
So, before we get into it, please make sure that you like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel. Make sure that when you are commenting, that you are always kind in the comments. What else do we need to do?
Make sure that you are following us on all of the socials and that you have those post notifications on so you know when we're posting. Also, there will be spoilers if you haven't
Mm-hmm.
read the book. We're going to get into it.
So we say that this is the book that started it all because last summer, after having bought this book and finally getting back into reading, sometimes I let go of reading for a little bit, and other times I'm reading a lot.
Mm-hmm.
This one started my reading journey all over again, and I ranted and raved about this book so much that I got Derek to read it,
Truth.
and she was also obsessed with it.
Truth.
And then my idea just came from that, and then it all just spiraled into what we see here today
Yeah.
together.
I'm so excited. Yeah, I loved this book when I read it. It's not a book I think I would have picked up and read.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but I'm happy I did,
Me too.
and I'm happy that we're here, and I'm happy that we're talking about it.
Yay!
Finally. Okay.
Okay, so also upon reading this rereading, things just kind of hit you a little differently, or sometimes they hit you just the same or harder.
Mm-hmm.
So, with that also being said, we noticed that there were a few themes in this book, the things that really stood out to us, which was how it starts off really strong. It
Yeah.
hooks you in really
Mm-hmm.
quickly. Then, what are the other themes?
Love is a huge theme, obviously. Love, in other words. And then grief is also a big part of this book. So we're going to talk a little bit about some key moments that stuck out to us during this reread, and I hope you enjoy it.
Yeah. So, the first thing that stood out to me, the first quote was Macy Sorensen. She describes her father's love. She says, even though he was a really quiet man, he was Danish versus her mother's Brazilian, louder, feistier, fiercer personality.
Mm-hmm.
She says about her dad, Duncan, his love was a roaring, vociferous bellow. And when I read that line again, I said, oh my gosh, I remember this. I always loved this line.
I love the way, yeah, rereading it, I also was like, yes, I remember, because it comes back to you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You remember the big moments, but not the little ones like this.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, oh, right, I loved how much her parents loved each other.
Yes. And I love, now that I reread it, I can love the fact that she appreciated both of her parents for their differences.
Oh, absolutely. So my piggybacking off of that, my first quote, or first moment of realization of the strong start, she says about her parents also in the prologue. When they met, she didn't speak a word of English, but by the time she died, when I was 10, it was almost as if they'd created their own language. And that was just so like ooey gooey to me. And like it just sets like a tone of
Mm-hmm.
love. And
Yeah.
yeah, just love. Like my dad is this hard, like you said, hard Danish man, giant, and my mom's this tiny little Brazilian woman, and like somehow, some way,
It works.
it works, and it really works.
Yeah. There was never a moment where you felt like she felt like her mother's love was better because she had missed her for so long, or like her father's love was better. Like she knew, they all knew that they all trusted each other to do things the right way. It
Mm-hmm.
just was even better when they were all together.
Yeah.
So that was lovely. And with that comes the list. Her mother wrote a list for her dad that she says went on and on deep into the 50s. And she says that it wasn't so much that her mother didn't trust him, but she wanted her to feel her influence even though she was gone. And she says her dad reread it frequently. He made notes in pencil and he highlighted certain things. He made sure he wasn't missing any milestones or getting things wrong for her. Um, she says, as I grew older, the list became a Bible of sorts, not necessarily a rule book, but more a reassurance that all these things Dad and I struggled with were normal. That part also solidified for me that I needed to finish this book. Like, we didn't even get into the love story, not
Mm-hmm.
really. We got into her parents' love and her parents' love for her, and I was hooked.
Same. Yeah.
Yeah.
Immediately.
And then after that, we're still in the prologue, but this is, I think, the last line of the prologue. it's um it's Macy. She says, "Nor could Dad have known that my whole world would end up next door, held in the palm of a skinny nerd named Elliot Lewis Petropoulos." That brought back the whoosh of feelings for
Because you
me.
knew it was to come.
Yes.
Yeah. The prologue is so good. It's
Yes.
so good. It really Christina Lauren, I mean, we can't say enough about them.
I know.
Um so speaking of like that when it all hits you again.
Mm-hmm.
So reading the prologue the first time was definitely like, okay, yeah, I'm excited. I don't know where it's taking me, right? Reading it this time it was also still like, I'm excited. But when it really like hit me that like
You were back.
I was back was when she sees Elliot at the coffee shop and she tries to run away, obviously, because she's just like, me too, girl. She's like, it's too much. And he follows her and he says, I can't just run into you at Saul's and be like, hey, Macy, what's up? And then you go to work and I go to work and then we don't talk for another 10 years. And there it is. Elliot was never able to play the surface game. And I literally lost my mind. It was like this scene of her seeing him and like the back of his head and then like his face and what he looked like all these years later. And then,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I wrote that it was like the equivalent of, do you remember it's like a core memory, being in the movie theater watching Twilight and they show Edward
Oh
and
yeah.
all the girls are like,
Yes.
that's how I felt when it was like, she, that's Elliot. I was like, because
Yeah.
I know what's to come. It's
Yes.
like I knew where I was buckled in for the
The
ride.
thing that will live down in my memory about like first them two first seeing each other all over again, those first few times, is when Elliot says, "You're the love of my life. I assumed I would get over you eventually, but seeing you yesterday, I couldn't go home to someone else and pretend to love her with everything I have." That will forever live on in my memory.
Eliana, when I think of this book,
Yeah.
if you would have asked me last week before I read it again,
Uh-huh.
love in other words, the line that like when I think of him, I think of he broke up with his girlfriend
Yep.
the day he saw her again. He's
Yep.
like, yeah,
That's done.
I saw you for the first time in
Mm-hmm.
11 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I went home and broke up with my girlfriend.
Yep.
Because that is who Elliot is.
Yep. He's so sure. He's
That's that
so,
gelatinous we were talking about,
yeah.
girl.
It's
He's
the
got it.
chalant. And he's so sure. And he doesn't like he didn't even consider the fact that she could be fully married.
He didn't care what her situation was.
No. He said, "Oh, and we're
Macy,
back."
yeah.
You were fully like 18 years old. She was 17. You are now grown people.
And you like, oh yeah, nah, my girlfriend when I was 18 is back. So
You're the love of my life.
you ain't even know me being grown.
Right. They those were like the first time they were in the hi, how are you phase, and he said, "You're the love of my life."
Okay. So
We're just gonna clock back in. Okay,
okay,
got it. Now
cool.
moving on
Yes.
into the this book is just jammed packed with love. Great examples from
Hmm.
parental love, romantic love, friendship love. Take it
Family love,
away. Yeah.
yes. Um, okay, guys. So in the cries. Okay. So when they're children. So the book goes between now and then, which I
Mhm.
love, by the way. I
Mhm.
think we've said it before.
I didn't love it when I was reading it.
Me either, because it would end in like now and then go to then. I'm like, I'm crap about what's going on when they're 11. I need to know.
Right.
I need to know right now. But this is a then chapter, and this is when they're children, and they're in the closet, and he hands her Bridge of Terabithia, and he says, "I hope you like it as much as I did. I sort of feel like I could be your Maybelle." Like what? And he was. He is her Maybelle. He like made her see the light again.
Yep.
It was just so
It
beautiful.
really was.
And I don't think it didn't. Obviously, I didn't get it the first read around.
Mhm.
For like, I mean, I was like, she her sister. Like, I didn't get it. Like, I didn't, because I don't know what's about to happen. But like now reading it, I'm like,
Another example of juicy parent love
mm,
was again Duncan, and he basically Macy's describing how she was sent to a grief group with other children, and the majority of the children there had all lost their mothers, and she noticed that all of the little girls basically had short bob haircuts, and she knew then that it was because their dads hadn't figured out how to do their hair, and so they just
mm,
cut their hair because it would be easier for them. And so she says about her dad, he could have done what was easiest for him and just cut it all off, but he didn't. And she describes the fact that he learned how to do braids from other people. He would put her hair in little ponytails, and there this was one of the moments that I cried in this book, but there are so many moments where I cried.
I love an intentional parent,
Yes.
fictional or non. It's
This makes
just,
me so like reading this
uh,
made me so much more sad that he like made an effort to go to other women and be like, how do I do this? And
it's
he didn't
given.
want to change her life that in that way because he didn't know how to do something. He was like, no, I'll figure it out.
She deserves these experiences. I love dance. They're
Yeah.
so good. No, yeah, even just a little bit back to the Bridget Terabithia line, where she was like not interested in reading it,
Mm.
and there she's like going back home, and she's sobbing in the car, and he's like, "What is wrong? What happened?" And she's like, tells him what this book is about, and then he starts to sob,
Yes,
and
he
I'm just
does.
like, "This is beautiful, man." Like, it's just too much. It's so good. Uh I love that. I love that.
Elliot is some serious. He's a piece of work. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so they get together for dinner, and she is talking about Sean, her fiance, a little bit. She says that she agreed, she made a vow to herself that she would marry the first man that she didn't feel uncomfortable with, that she didn't feel wrong with.
And what he said.
Elliot says, but really, according to that criteria, technically, wouldn't that person be me? I, when I read that line both times, I could not stop myself from screaming. Screaming because he just cannot stop himself from fighting for her
No,
immediately. He doesn't you're
immediately.
she's talking about her fiance.
He's like,
He's like,
okay.
but I'm the one that you should be marrying.
Anyway, so
That's like an R&B song in real life. I mean,
literally,
it's a fiction book, but it's in like in
it's so
every supposed to
true.
be in everyday life. This is what it would play out as.
Yeah, like your man ain't me.
The next one, this one also makes me cry, but it's another parenting one. It's about Macy's mother. She writes her a letter, I believe, and it was about making sure that she takes care of her body, that she never abuse. Oh, I think it was when she got her period, her first period. Her mom had written her a letter, and she's reading it, and at the end she talks about how she doesn't want her to abuse her own body, that she made the body, that body for her. She says, "Every inch of your skin I made diligently. Months
Mm.
I slaved over you. You are my masterpiece." Wow.
Isn't it beautiful?
That is, yeah, like that's what parenthood is about. You are my masterpiece, my greatest work. I put everything into you. And with that line is where I say this book is so jam packed with love. She was so unlucky to have lost her parents, but lucky to have been loved so well.
Yeah, and know it.
Yes. She was lucky to, because like she was loved so well by the two of them, and then was also loved by Elliot really
Hmm.
well.
She knows what it's like to be loved well.
Yes.
That's a blessing. So moving it along into grief. This book does
Just a
touch a lot on
whole lot of grief
a
in this
whole
book.
lot of grief, right? From her mama to her daddy to
Elliot
Elliot. Yeah, everybody got grief.
and others.
And grief, in other words. That's what the segment is.
Honestly.
um, so I'm actually gonna start off with Sean, who is Macy's fiance.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, girl, what you doing? But anyway, Sean says, I'm sure if I saw Ashley again, which is his ex-wife, I'd struggle with all of that. Anger and hurt and yeah, the love that I still have for her. I never got to fall out of love. I just had to move on when she walked out. Oh, that's grief, y'all. Like,
Yeah,
like he didn't get. We said
she
like
didn't pass away,
she didn't
but
pass away. She didn't. She just left. Yeah, like she's still there. So like you even there's even something else more that's there than there's a excuse me, but there's a closure you get
when they pass
when they
away,
pass away.
you know that they cannot come back.
She's not dead.
Mm-hmm.
She's just on drugs,
Yeah.
wildly.
Yep.
As my mom likes to say, drugging and bugging.
Oh. Yeah. So, but what I also think you wanted to mention was that when we talk about grief, it's love that has nowhere to go,
Yeah,
and that was the perfect. That was another perfect explanation of it. Is that I never got to fall out of love.
I love that.
He never got to become cold to her. He never got to resent her. He never got to like not care about what was going on with her anymore. He just he
He
says she
had to
just
move on.
left.
Yeah, yeah. He
And
just
so
had
he
to
just
move
had
on.
to pick himself up the next day and take
Take care
care
of
of
their
the
child.
yeah.
Take care of the house. Keep going. He couldn't fall. He couldn't fall apart. He could.
Yeah.
He didn't get to hate her. You know,
Yeah.
none of that. It was just he had no choice but to move on.
Yeah. And he says very clearly, I still have love for her.
Mm-hmm.
While that might not be the same love that maybe Elliot experiences for
Yeah,
Macy, it's still
a form of it.
there.
Yeah.
I actually don't know when this occurs specifically, but it's Macy, and she says, "Admissions lead to love, and admitting love is like tying yourself to a train track." And I noticed that that line really hit me so much harder this time. And it's definitely softened me a lot to Macy because I remember the first time that I read it, I was frustrated with her
Mm-hmm.
and constantly thinking, just tell him what it was the problem.
Yeah.
Why did you stop talking for 11 years? What was worth all of that? Um, but with this line, I recognize that her world's been destroyed too many times.
Yeah.
Losing your mom at 10, your dad at 18, and then like
Your boyfriend the
your
same
boyfriend at the
night.
same time
Yeah.
is
Traumatic.
that's just awful. There's
Yeah.
no words for me to even like explain that.
So Sabrina, not a fan of Sean. Love Sabrina, by the way.
Yes.
Such a good friend. Not a huge fan of Sean. Not to any fault of Sean. Just like, what are we doing with this guy?
Yeah.
Um. So she says she's having a conversation. A conversation with with Macy, and she says, "When Elliot walked up to us, I swear that was the first time I'd seen you smile like that. with your entire body, and it made me question everything about your personality before that. And that struck me so deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's her best friend.
Yep.
I've known you since you were 18.
Yep.
We are 29 years old.
Yep.
I've never seen you smile like that. Like, I don't know you.
Yeah. I didn't know you were capable of that.
You feel me? Like, everything in my brain that I have, like, oh, this is Macy.
Mm-hmm.
That's not you at all.
Yeah.
That's so sad.
That is.
That's so sad. Oh my god.
And that was Macy's grief that she lived with
Mhm.
forever.
So then, moving forward, this is Elliot, and he's just they're at the wedding, and he's spilling out. He's his brother's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
He's spilling out all his feelings for Macy, and they're finally having the talk. Or starting to have the talk about what
Yeah.
happened the night
Starting.
she disappeared. And he says, "But Macy, even as bad as it, excuse me, but Macy, even as bad as that is, and I know it was bad, was it really worth this?" He gestures between us. Was it really enough to make you just drop me after everything? To riot, excuse me, to
No.
riot, to not talk to me ever again? That man was bleeding. That man was hurting. It was, and then like the things that he goes on to say in that scene that like he dealt with in those
Mm-hmm.
11 years. It's like he's been carrying this weight on him
Yeah.
of like I like this thing I didn't even really do has turned like the one thing in my like because he's not that guy. Where
Yeah.
she is such a like I don't say the thing,
Mm-hmm.
he says the thing. So he's
Yeah.
like I don't get it. I don't know. I like this is not this is not his language. He's like, I don't know what you're saying to me. How you just gonna disappear for 11 years? Like what could after everything we did, you could just bounce? Cause he don't know the full story. Cause it wasn't really what you did that made her bounce like that. Cause she even says, like,
Mm-hmm.
had that not happened, I would have talked to him again. But what ends up happening really
The nail in the coffin,
it
right?
also frustrates me that this conversation happens 2 months after they've been back in each other's
Reconnected.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
It took you 2 months to have this conversation.
Yeah.
And on that day,
It's basically 3 months because they reconnected October 3rd. And this is New Year's Eve, December 31st.
what are we doing?
Foolishness.
Continuing on, Elliot says, every day I woke up and wondered if that would be the day I'd see you again. And if I did, how would it go? Again, sad. He was
Yeah.
just, he was hurting. Like, I personally like know what that specific feeling is like,
Mm-hmm.
and it is really sad. Like it's
Yeah.
grief. It's like something so suddenly was ripped from you, and it's
Yes.
like
If I
again
could do it again.
the person's not dead.
Yeah.
You right there.
If I could see you again, what would I do? How I would act so that this wouldn't happen again, so
So
that I
you'll
could fix it.
stay.
Yes.
What do I say? What do I do? How do I? Well, yeah, it's like that whole headspace. Living in that headspace is just really sad.
Yeah. In the
And
same vein of, wishing you could turn back time, there's Macy, who is finally telling Elliot about that night. Oh, you guys, this is the most awful. These are the most awful, like, chapters that I've
it
ever read in
really
my
is.
life.
It's like you're waiting the whole book for this, and you're like, huh.
What? So her father gets into a car. They both get into a car accident, but
Mhm.
her father passes away, and she talks about basically like her mind frame, and she says today wasn't a good day to drive. If we drive today, I lose everyone. If we drive today, I won't be a daughter anymore. And that really breaks my heart to feel like you're floating in the world at with no family. It's really tough at the age of 17.
Yeah.
And I mean, I've even been there before too, where you're rewriting history in my head
Mm-hmm.
with God,
Oh,
or
come
rewriting
on.
it simply with my family. Like we'll talk about people that have passed in our lives, and maybe if they would have gone to this doctor and wouldn't have gone to the
Mm-hmm.
other one, they would still be alive. And you just,
It's a nasty cycle to get into,
yeah,
with yourself, because we can't. I mean, my family's literally going through that right now. You know,
hmm.
it is. It is. It's just. It's terrible. It's terrible, and it's sad to be in that cycle.
Also, when Macy is recounting the car crash scene, she talks about how she escapes from her stretcher and starts running down the highway. And she says that a cop grabbed her, and he says, no, she says, I still remember him saying over and over that he was sorry. He was so sorry. And he lost his brother the same way. He was so sorry. I could not stop myself from uncontrollably crying at that point because it was heart-wrenching to picture this man see her pain and dive back into his own with her just to ground her
Mm-hmm.
because she was running away so that she could get back off of the highway and replay the moment so that it wouldn't happen again.
Same moment.
Hmm.
She says, she's just thinking about what's happened. She goes, I want to go back to that other heartbreak, not this one. Like she's just in like no, like
Yeah.
my boyfriend,
Rewind.
my boyfriend. I don't care about
Yep.
like nah, my dad.
Yeah.
No, I don't
I
want
can
this.
survive Elliot potentially cheating on me.
I can't survive my dad not being here no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I lost it. I was like, it's
Yeah.
too much.
And then the final line that I wanted to bring attention to was Elliot responding to everything she had said. I'm so sorry for keeping this from you for, all of those years. And I know that it hurt you and like I blamed you. And he basically says, honey, it wasn't your fault. I didn't know anything that was going on with you. And your life just crumbled that day.
Mm-hmm.
And when I read that line, I remember thinking she was so brave for all of this. Like she could have done all of these things sooner, but she did it. She opened up again. She left her fiance. She moved alone. And she went to his brother's wedding on the anniversary.
Yeah,
On the anniversary.
that's big.
I was like, bravo, Macy. That, like, for every frustration that I had with her, I was like,
Mm-hmm.
you did it.
Yeah, you got to it, girl.
And you, it wasn't like she got to it like she said it real cool and calm, collected. No, he left because he was like, I'm sick of this. She went home, lost her mind, still was able to tell him everything that happened.
Yeah.
That's beyond me. I don't know. It would have been hard to tell him
Mm-hmm.
at the time. She was also probably catatonic at the time.
True. That's why I don't know that
I
it
don't know
needed
that
to
she could have,
be.
like, when I think about her telling him at the time, I don't know that she could have explained it to
I
him.
don't think. I think it's totally fair to go ghost.
Yeah.
I really do. It's the 11 years part that
Mm-hmm.
gets me.
I understand that. I understand that.
I think that first, that whole like that whole first year, I don't know where you at mentally. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's a lot going on. But you went back to that house and you cleared everything out. Like something, something, an email, some. There were times in 11 years I feel like something
Mm-hmm.
could have been said, especially because he was reaching out.
Yeah. I feel like the what I'm trying to say is that I feel like if she told him in the moment or if she told him while she was still in that point of her grief, I don't
Mm-hmm.
think she could have been able to talk to him the way that she did here.
Agreed. Agreed.
Not that which really, again, not that the way that she said it was amazing.
Excuse
It
me.
wasn't it wasn't cool, calm, collected. It wasn't like didn't
It just
necessarily
was.
make sense. He walked in while she was having a breakdown.
Yeah.
Um, I just don't think it could have been. I think honestly, if she would have told him back then, it would have been like an email, like Duncan's passed away. We were in a car accident, and like she might have just left it there, and he might have like Macy, Macy, no, I want to go see you, whatever, and she just wouldn't have been able to open herself up again. I feel like the the fact that she waited so long,
Hmm.
that was the only way that she was going to be able to
To
actually
get it out.
to confront it completely.
Yeah.
I don't think she could have.
Ugh.
Thank you so much for
Crazy.
watching. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed rereading this book.
Yes. Let us. Oh
Please
yeah.
make sure that you read this book.
Please
And
read it.
in the comments, please tell us what you think about the book, if there are any moments that you feel stuck out to you.
Yeah, I'm always down to discuss this book. So like, please, please, please.
Yeah, and let us know of any other books that you think might top this one.
Yes. Okay. Um, Make sure that you have liked, commented, shared, and subscribed to our channel. Make sure you have turned on those post notifications so you know when we are posting, and you're following us on all of the socials.
Absolutely, and stay tuned for our next video.
What are we doing?
We are, it's a little late,
It'll be a little late.
but we're doing the mid-year book tag, okay?
Okay, it's the end of August, but so what?
So what?
Okay.
This is the middle of the year,
This is,
okay?
time is
In the
an
summer, it's not
illusion.
real.
Okay.